everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee, and this is a show we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. You can find me at dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Also, look me up on the Facebook group and on Twitter, and you can listen to Dayspring Discussions on iTunes, YouTube, Podomatic, and now Patreon, guys. Well, happy Tuesday morning to you all. It is a beautiful day because last night we got some Star Wars. That's right, the Star Wars Rebels Season 4 premiere was last night on Disney XD. Lisa and I sat down and watched it, and to be fair, I had already seen part of it. Lisa and I went to Star Wars Celebration back in April. We saw the first episode of Season 4. Here was a Mandalore Part 1. Last night, though, Disney XD premiered Part 1 and Part 2, so we sat down and watched that. And to be honest, I'm pretty impressed with it. It wasn't a jam-packed, mind-blowing experience of an episode, but I think it was a good start to a season, especially considering what has been happening in the series so far in Season 3 and everything we got with Sabine and the Mandalorians. This continues that story arc, and it's a good story arc. I'm not a big Boba Fett fan. I'm not even a Jango Fett fan. But I am a Mandalorian fan. I never got those people that thought Boba Fett was so cool, mainly because of the mystery. I mean, that's kind of the thing with him and like Wolverine. They're so mysterious in their past that makes them cool. I never got it. All I know of Boba Fett is that Luke took out his blaster and then Han shot him into the Sarlacc pit. And he's really not that cool of a character, in my opinion. But in Clone Wars, we saw the actual Mandalorian culture that he came from, or Jango Fett came from. And that enriched the world and the culture of the Mandalorians that I was hooked. So Mandalorians, I'm all about. Boba Fett and Jango Fett, not so much. So this episode continued Mandalorian lore, got a little deeper into the world. We saw the return of Bo-Katan, voiced by Katie Sackhoff. She was in the Clone Wars series. Glad to have her back. And like I said, I enjoyed this episode. I like what Rebels is doing too, where we get 2 episodes this week. Next week we get another 2 episodes with In the Name of the Rebellion Part 1 and 2. And then I think it's going to start to go to single episodes after that. But 16 episodes this season. Dave Filoni said no filler episodes. It all counts. It's the last season of Star Wars Rebels. We know some members of the Ghost crew do not make it to Rogue One or A New Hope, so it might not end so good for them. But this episode, Heroes of Mandalore, like I said, I enjoyed, and I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, but I will say, at the end of the episode, you really see what the theme of this season is going to be, which was in the trailer when Kanan and Ezra were doing the voiceover about starting the rebellion and starting to fight back. And it's going to be about how they fight back. How are they different from the Empire that is just cruel in the way they attack other people. And we saw it in this episode too with Sabine and the Mandalorians and about how they decide to fight against the Empire. I think it's going to be a big theme for the season. Very interesting in my opinion. But if you haven't checked it out, go ahead and go on Disney XD app or other sources, and you can find those episodes. I'm really super excited for more Rebels. It's going to be awesome, guys. Alright, moving on to the main topic for today. Marvel Studios dropped the new Black Panther poster yesterday, followed by a second trailer for the film that comes out in February. Chadwick Boseman is back as T'Challa, and the official synopsis for the film is, quote, "At the events of Marvel's Captain America Civil War, King T'Challa returns home to the reclusive, technologically advanced African nation of Wakanda to serve as his country's new leader. However, T'Challa soon finds that he is challenged for the throne from factions within his own country. When 2 foes conspire to destroy Wakanda, the hero known as Black Panther must team up with CIA agent Everett K. Ross and members of the Wakandan Special Forces to prevent Wakanda from being dragged into a world war. The film comes out February 16, 2018, starred Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, Martin Freeman, Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, Andy Serkis, and Sterling K. Brown. Directed by Ryan Coogler as well. What a cast, what a director. I gotta tell you, I'm excited for this film. I think it's going to look really cool. Also, this is going to be the last Marvel film before we get to the infamous Infinity War. So I'm curious what kind of Easter eggs we're going to pick up from that. I think we're going to get more Infinity War Easter eggs from Thor Ragnarok than we are Black Panther. But Black Panther is going to be in Infinity War from what I understand. So we got to get a little bit of tidbit from that. So this trailer looked pretty cool. I'm not a big Black Panther fan. I've read a couple of Black Panther comics in my time, and of course I've seen him with Avengers and seen him in animated series and all that stuff. So I'm not a Black Panther expert, but I do like the character. I do like the mythology. This, from what I've seen so far, looks super cool. I really enjoyed the first trailer that Marvel Studios put out for Black Panther. This one, we're getting more into the world of Wakanda, getting to see more of what it's like. And to be honest, it looks cool, but I'm afraid it's too alien, really. I mean, in this voiceover for the trailer, Martin Freeman's character talks about how he's seen aliens, and he's seen gods, and even seeing Wakanda seems a little strange to him, just because it looks so different from everything else in the world. And Wakanda is supposed to be this technologically advanced society, kind of above everyone else. I get that. I mean, on the street level, it looks cool. But above, when you're seeing all the ships and stuff like that, it almost looks like I'm stepping into Asgard just a little bit. Maybe I'm being a little too critical, but it looks just a little too different, really, to be part of our world. The story, though, still intrigues me about T'Challa, because he is a young man who has to step up and become king of this advanced culture. Stepping up to that responsibility to such a powerful nation, heavy lies the crown on that. And in this trailer too, we have Lupita Nyong'o's character talking to T'Challa about how he gets to decide what kind of king he wants to be. And that whole storyline really intrigues me about he has to step up and be this leader, but what kind of leader is he going to be for his people? What kind of person he's going to become? What does he have to do to lead his people? These are all very interesting questions that I'm hoping this film is going to dive really deep into. And I think we'll get it, because with Ryan Coogler, director of this film, he's put out some great films like Creed and Fruitvale Station, so I think he definitely has the talent to bring the best out in Black Panther. Now, I gotta step on my soapbox just for a minute, guys, so bear with me. If you want to take a breath or, pause it or fast forward, just give me a sec here. I'm going to step up just for a minute. This film was very constructed to kind of make a point. You have a black director. You have a black cast. Of course, the film is Black Panther. And that's great. You have a great cast, a great director. I'm all about it. That's awesome. I'm not liking this trend in Hollywood where we're making movies to make a political statement. You have Wonder Woman, who is a famous female director, so people demanded that you get a female director for it. And Patty Jenkins did a great job. Great job. But I also say that if that film would have failed, fingers would have been pointed to be like, why did you have to get a female director? Making a political statement is something that I don't see necessary for films. Yes, films have a way of speaking to us and talking to us and having themes. If you get the best director and the best cast for the job, of course, Ryan Coogler, great director. I'm not doubting he's a great person for this job. Patty Jenkins, good director. I'm not doubting that. I just want to make sure that we're making movies to make the best movie possible and not make some political statement. And staying with that, you have the music for this trailer, which is The Revolution Will Be Televised. And in the last trailer, you had the Step Into the Spotlight, which I thought that fit what was happening with T'Challa, where he had to step into the spotlight as the king. Now this one, The Revolution Will Be Televised, I'm curious if that fits into the theme of the film, something about a revolution for Wakanda. If it does, awesome, great. All the other Marvel movies have just basic music underneath them. I mean, scores, no actual pop music with it. whereas this one has some R&B hip-hop music to it. And again, I just feel like they're trying to cater to a certain crowd. As a white Caucasian male, I know I'm probably way off on this. I know I'm probably just a dumbass who's speaking bullshit. I do apologize, but for me, that's just something I noticed. I know they're trying to make money. I know they have to cater to people who they want to see this movie. And me, they already have my money. I'm definitely going to go see this movie. So whether they're trying to reach a different audience, that's great. That gets more people in the theater to experience the film, which I believe will be good based on what I've seen and what I know about the director and the cast. So more power to you. Okay, I'm off my soapbox. I'm stepping down. We're all good, guys. Back to the trailer. Again, it looks cool. I love the shot when T'Challa jumps out of the airplane, almost like that shot in Winter Soldier when Cap jumps out of the plane and he's like, is he wearing a parachute? No, he wasn't. And you get to see, again, all these technological advances that he has wearing the Black Panther costume. You also see your villains. Michael B. Jordan and Andy Serkis. Looks like they're teaming up to take out T'Challa in this one. Not quite sure what T'Challa's villains are going to be like and why they want to take him out. And then, of course, there's a shot of Michael B. Jordan, who looks like he's wearing a similar Black Panther costume when he goes to fight T'Challa. Michael B. Jordan, good actor. I loved him ever since Friday Night Lights. Been a big fan of his. Marvel hasn't been very strong, though, with their villains, mainly because they focus a lot on their heroes. I want Michael B. Jordan to be really good. I want him to be a strong villain, but if I have to choose between him being a strong villain and Chadwick Boseman being a strong hero, I'm going to go with Chadwick Boseman. That's just the way I fly. Another thing I love about this trailer, and kind of the Black Panther mythology, is that his bodyguards are all women. All strong black African women who are very badass. And we have that one scene in Captain America Civil War where Black Widow intercepts T'Challa and he steps up to his bodyguard and she's like, move or I will move you. And that scene you're like, damn, I kind of want to see that. T'Challa says, as entertaining as that would be, so we kind of see that his bodyguard's going to kick a little ass. But overall, really good trailer. Got me excited to see the film, excited to know more about what's going to happen in this film. To me, I'm a big story guy. I'm a big character guy. Give me good characters with a decent story. Make me care about these characters. Make me care about T'Challa's journey, his struggles, what he has to go through to prove himself as king and help his people. And I'm in. Okay, last story for today. We're sticking in the Marvel Cinematic Universe here. Mark Ruffalo was talking to Cinema Blend as kind of the plan for the Hulk in the upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe. He said, quote, basically, Kevin Feige pulled me aside before Thor Ragnarok and said, if we're going to do a standalone Hulk movie, what would it be? And I said, I think it should be this, 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 and this, and end like this. And he's like, I love that. Why don't we do that in the next 3 movies, starting with Thor 3, and then we go into Avengers 3 and 4. And I was like, that sounds great. And so we are beginning this arc. Now, Thor Ragnarok adapts loosely to the Planet Hulk storyline in Marvel Comics. The film is set to come out November 3rd, and just from the trailers, we see a little difference in the Hulk from what he's been in the previous Avengers films. Quote, Hulk speaking is the start to separating these two individuals, these identities in his split personality, and where that's going to end up going. So it's really interesting to me. He's like a baby. He's like a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old. Now, fans have been craving another Hulk standalone film ever since that first Avengers movie. The way Hulk acted with the other characters, what he was doing, people really enjoyed that. But they always forget that there were 2 previous Hulk movies, one directed by Ang Lee starring Eric Bana that didn't do so well, and the other one starring Edward Norton, which is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that didn't do so well either. So when people say they want a Hulk movie, that's fine, but if you look at the previous track record of Hulk movies, it doesn't make economical sense for Marvel Studios to make an individual Hulk movie again, because the other 2 haven't had the best record. Now, with this, they're taking the Hulk storyline and putting it in other films. You have Hulk evolving in Thor Ragnarok, and then, like you said, going from Avengers 3 and Avengers 4. So Hulk is going to have his own development throughout the next couple of Marvel films, which I think is great. I'm not a huge Hulk fan, but I have read quite a bit of Incredible Hulk. My brother, growing up, he collected Incredible Hulk. He really liked Incredible Hulk. So I read a lot of Incredible Hulk in my day. One summer, I took my brother's whole box of Incredible Hulk comics, and I just went right through them. My favorite was the Peter David run. Goes through the Grey Hulk saga into the Green Hulk with Banner's mind. That's probably my favorite time. I think the most interesting storylines you kind of get with that is it's the Hulk with Banner's mind. So he's really smart and powerful, which is a deadly combination. But that was really cool. I love Peter David. He's probably my favorite Hulk writer. Although Mark Waid does do a few good things in his run too. But this also goes into a thing where people are craving solo films for these characters, such as a Black Widow solo film, a Hulk solo film, maybe even a Hawkeye solo film. And I don't think that's true. I think these are supporting characters that work well within the team. If anything, people that are craving these solo movies for these characters need to look back at the previous Hulk films and say, hey, you want a Hulk movie, but these Hulk films you didn't support or you didn't like, so why would we make another Hulk movie, especially when, as a supporting character in these Avengers films, he's working so well. I also understand by these comments by Ruffalo and Feige that they're possibly going a new direction with the Hulk, a direction that is actually my favorite part of the Hulk mythology, which is the storyline that Peter David did, which is that Bruce Banner is not just a man who turns into a monster. He has several personalities living inside of him. He's got Bruce Banner, he's got the Green Hulk, he's even got a Grey Hulk living inside of him, and he's really living with this, and they're always fighting inside of him for control of the body. And if you move into that aspect of it all, I think it'd be a very fascinating storyline and a very fascinating direction to go with the Hulk. In Thor Ragnarok, we see bits of Planet Hulk in the film. And in Planet Hulk, it's Hulk. It's not Bruce Banner. He is a person or a creature that has a mind of his own. He's somewhat intelligent. He takes a wife. He has a child. All these things. And then he comes back to Earth seeking revenge against those who did him wrong. I don't think they're going to go to World War Hulk with this. They're focusing a lot on the Thanos storyline, and I don't think they're going to have time for World War Hulk. But it goes to show you that Hulk can be his own person. He doesn't have to be just a rage-filled monster that Banner turns into. You can have just Hulk as a somewhat intelligent being, which kind of takes away from the need for Mark Ruffalo a little bit, I guess you could say. But given that he is doing the CGI for it, you're going to need him a little bit, and we got to have Bruce Banner in there somewhere. But I like from these comments they're talking about the evolution of the character of the Hulk going to a more intelligent individual, which he has become in the comics. He did start out as, a mindless monster, but has developed throughout the years as his own separate entity, his own separate personality, his own separate character from what Bruce Banner is. And these comments make me happy because maybe, just maybe, filmmakers and Marvel Studios are starting to get what could make the Hulk interesting. And this makes me happy for what's to come with the Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Alright guys, well that's it for me today. Now it's your turn to fire back. Hit me up, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Also the Facebook group or on Twitter. Let me know what you think. Did you see the Black Panther trailer? I'm sure you did. Now let me know what you think about it. Are you psyched for this film? And also let me know what you think about Mark Ruffalo's comments about the Hulk. Do you think he should have his own standalone film? Do you like the comments and the direction they're possibly going to go with the Hulk? And of course, Star Wars Rebels. Let me know who you think is going to bite it by the end of the season/series. Do you think Kanan's going to make it out alive? Do you think Sabine's going to make it out alive? Let me know. Hit me up. And that'll be it for me, guys. I'll see you back here on Thursday. Until next time, may the Force be with us all.